And now we're going to be joined by Maya Sharma, who is with Vinutha, who is with Greenpeace, and Mr. B.J. Hosmuth, who's the Additional Principal Chief Conservator of Forests, Karnataka. He's here to talk about the resettlement of people, voluntary resettlement that the Karnataka state government has made a priority in areas where Karnataka has the most amount of tigers. Now, Vinutha Nanda of Greenpeace is here to talk about how coal mining is fragmenting this tiger habitat in central India and Madhya Pradesh.
Well, really, of course, if we are to be successful when it comes to tiger conservation, there are certain policies that need to be in place. Mr. Hosmuth, thank you for joining us. Now, resettlement, voluntary resettlement of tribals from tiger areas is huge. But you've had some success with that here in Karnataka, both at Bhadra and at Nagarhole. What's going right?
Nagarhole, we have been able to successfully so far relocate about 342 plus 157 families. Especially the latest one which we have done near Nagarhole the lot is so very happy that the second phase of the same location, which 130 houses are ready, which we should be able to complete in another few months. More than 200 families wants to come out. In addition, we'll be able to relocate another 300 families successfully in the next 2-3 years. We have already the land which is released by the government of India is ready, and in addition we can look forward to rehabilitate certain of this section of these tribes in the district of Kodagu with certain help from the state government, which the state government has come forward to help under tribal sub-plan.
There is, of course, a certain amount of resistance from people when it comes to moving out of places they have lived in for generations. Do you find that resistance still, and how have you been able to overcome it? Because that is very important, of course.
Yeah, it is. Fortunately, in case of Nagarhole, it is not very high in the sense they are already part of the mainstream. Most of these hardis or the hamlets, people go out for their living in the adjoining coffee estates. In the adjoining, their livelihood is the labor employment in the coffee estates. So that way, I look forward to a situation wherein we should be able to relocate all those families who are located inside the core area of the tiger reserve. I look forward to that situation, which should happen in the next 2-3 years.
And of course, right now in a place like Bandipur, Karnataka has the most number of tigers in India. Right now in a place like Bandipur, there are no families living within park limits?
No, fortunately not. Since 1967, it is free from this problem. And we are, the only problem that we face in Bandipur and Nagarhole is depredation by the wild elephants, which state government is responding in a very satisfactory manner as present.
Successful resettlement, very huge for the tigers. But Vinutha, you've been working on tiger habitat in the sense of a continuous tiger habitat, and coal mining has, of course, caused a lot of havoc. What should be done? What should we be seeing right now in, say, Madhya Pradesh?
Yeah, so we've looked at 13 coal fields in central India, and what we found is that they are the significantly largest threat to contiguous forests, which is tiger habitat. So this is not looking within protected areas, but actually looking outside of it, which is equally important.
You want to add areas to the existing tiger reserves, add areas so that they're connected.
What we want is that the government actually put a pause button on the mining clearances that they're doing in this area, because they are fast-tracking those clearances, but there hasn't been enough thought after the no-go was gone. There hasn't been enough thought, and in fact currently there's huge pressure to start clearing them as fast as possible, and we have to pause on that one, because otherwise we're going to have an impact that we're not going to be able to turn back on.
Is this coal mining specifically a greater threat than anything else in this area?
Well, in the central Indian landscape, yes, we've overlaid this. We've overlaid it with official data from NTCA as well as WII tiger data. And we've found that in most of the, in a number of tiger habitats, these mines are actually going to come up, and there is going to be absolutely no possibility for tigers to cross these gigantic open cast mines.
What policy change would you like to see to help our tigers?
A moratorium immediately on any kind of clearances in this region till that criteria that the Ministry of Environment and Forest is developing behind closed doors. That process needs to open up, and till that happens, till those criteria are developed, we cannot fast-track coal mining clearances in this region.
Absolutely. Praveen, funding is of course a huge issue. Do we have the funds? Are there funds available to save the tiger in India right now?
Absolutely. One effort is what the civil society and NDTV and others are doing. But the other thing is that there is a big corpus of funding of 25,000 crores with the government under what is called as CAMPA.
Yes.
This must be, and all of us in the past NBWL had campaigned hard to ensure that this funding is applied to consolidate landscapes. What she just now talked about.
Okay.
Now there are other leases and so forth within tiger landscapes. This is not happening, though to a certain extent money is being offered for resettlement only. But unless and until these landscapes, particularly in Western Ghats, there are fabulous areas. If we don't buy out those portions and consolidate it and establish corridors or even some within even core areas, if we don't do that, it's a huge opportunity loss. Money will go into pit and plant projects. It will not work. The second issue which I want to stress in terms of policy is, and we've tried this with the NBWL, it's extremely worrying that NBWL is unilateral decisions are being taken on the standing committee. For instance, the best wildlife habitat, tiger habitat and elephant, Nagarole, Bandipur, Wayanad and Mudumalai. In Mudumalai connecting the other area, there is a corridor which is called as the Sigur corridor. And the kind of decisions that are being made is horrific. And I think this must stop. We must use this opportunity to consolidate these landscapes.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.